Yeah, these are some of the more difficult level 10s, not so
You
much in
hear
terms of
plaintive wails from deep within the
monster
mines.
damage, but just in
Could
terms
they
of
really be the
the
voices of
quest
the
itself,
dead?
getting to the quest giver, and some of the mechanics are
These
tough. They did make
creatures
this quest a
emanate
lot easier.
weird callings from the
There
air,
used
as
to
if
be
reacting to the sound of your footsteps.
a mandatory objective that you couldn't kill too many of the miners or the wildmen, and that made it really, especially on Reaper, really hard to succeed. And for a build like this that's two-handed fighting, it was just really hard to attack all the enemies, but not those enemies. So people managed to succeed and do well despite the mechanic. So it's not like it was impossible to succeed. But it's a lot easier now. And then once the ogres are killed, the wild men become friendly. So you had to kill, before you had to kill the wild men or the ogres before the wild men died. Yeah, and they would, at that point they turned friendly, and you wouldn't have to worry about it. But it's a very tough quest. It's easier now, but it's not one that's often run because uh, every every life you have to find that quest giver. So it's a little more work than most other quests. But the payback's pretty good. If you don't yet have the falconry tree, you pretty much need to run all the free agent quests plus the pre-raid, one of the like the quest plus one pre-raid to be able to get that. So it's more difficult than most of the other rewards. Uh, I'm gonna see if I can't. You, the pre-raid can't be soloed, but I think it could be 3-man. So I'm gonna see if I can get a guildie to run it with me at level 30. We're not gonna run it early, but if I can get a guildie to run it to me at with a couple guildies to run it at level 30,
The mind flayer grunts,
then I
expecting
will.
when it turns to face you.
All right, these guys are,
How dare you interrupt
and
my
mind
dream?
flyers have a way to kill you. So that's one of the mines overlords right there. All right, so we just came in, went west, and now we're going to go north at the spot that's north where there's a locked gate. All right, these turncoats we kill, and could always kill them. It was the miners that we couldn't kill the old way. Now it's an optional, which we probably won't get. It's really hard to do that with two-handed fighting, so I'm just not going to worry about it. And these are our 2 keys. And ogres hit hard. This is normal difficulty, and so it's those are some pretty big numbers for normal difficulty. So you can imagine what it's going to be like on Reaper. All right, well, spot's working. I'm encouraged by that. Let's see if we can find the trap box. So that wild man, I didn't directly attack him, but he just took strike through damage, and he has a lot less hit points than the ogre. All right, so I'm gonna go. Since we're going north basically. I'm gonna cover the east and west passages on the way.
The ogre mage growls and commands his slaves to the slaves chip away at the crystals while the ogre bark commands at them.
Alright, so now we're hitting the mining
Rising from the bottom of this
area,
shaft
and we're not
only
really a
adds
fantastic archer, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick these guys off because I think we come back these ways, some of these ways a number of times. Let's see what else we've got going on. Alright, so in terms of the best way forward, let's go this way. We'll be able to climb back up. Let's start here and go west. Alright, so whoa, so this is pretty nasty. Let me get the hireling over here. Hireling will not survive that. So we have evasion, so that's our best bet. You know, we're not going to find a trap box here, I don't think. We basically just have to get this, kill this guy, and that turns off the gong. He's beating the gong, and he works for he's working for the ogres, basically, so. And once the ogres are dead, all the miners turn friendly. Well, it succeeded. The wilderness didn't, but we're able to get it inside the quest. That's interesting. Let's see. Nope, nothing interesting. Alright, there's another wild men on the gong that we're going to have to deal with. First we get this ogre. If it was still mandatory that you couldn't kill the miners, this would be a PETA quest for us, for sure. Alright, let's see. Somehow it doesn't feel like we've done this right. Missed one section, it looks like. There we go. This is what we missed. The important part of this area.
The Elithid's wicked speech invaded Mars.
And so in addition to the favor that we need for, I encourage you to do it this life just to get it over with, but and if you find Reaper too difficult, just try it on Elite. But in addition to the getting falconry from favor, two of the most rare sought after unbound items are found in this chain. One is a teleport clicky that you can use at a low level if you don't have the teleport spell, and the other is a raise dead clicky you can use to raise your hireling if you don't have access to the raise dead spell. So both very highly desirable items. We could use the teleport clicky for sure. Alright, turncoat. Alright, I'm just going to use my bow on this guy.
Beholder hisses as you approach it.
Oh, two beholders. So let's 2 negative levels. Alright, so there's another beholder over here. Four negative levels. Use our restore right away. So in a Reaper, we have to be careful for, of course, we need to make sure we have our death block, which we have covered on our armor. We need to make sure that we can deal with negative levels. And when we run this quest on Elite, we'll have immunity to negative levels. And then the last thing is Disintegrate, which basically, a high fortitude save is all that's going to save you.
The ogre boss snarls to pieces.
Glitter dust, eh? Who's throwing glitter dust at us?
Boss Uzaki's slaves whoop and screech as the slave driver falls dead.
Well, unfortunately, they wouldn't be too happy because I didn't save any of them, unfortunately, but at least we got the ogre. And since we spend so much spell points on our buffs, that negative level doesn't hurt us too much because we get it right back pretty easily. And then, the main thing you lose is you permanently lose any spell points that you've lost from that. But I don't think that impacts us too much. Alright, so I don't think we need to shrine right now. I'm going to hold off on it. Alright, another one of these. I'm going to put my hireling on Candace ground and just jump over. And I don't think this is the... Oh, there we go.
The ogre mage laughs as you approach. The slaves of Boss Urfowl curse his defeated.
One of these areas.
Chest in defiance as the slave driver is defeated. This is the final area. It's easy to miss because it overlaps with the other parts of the map. And you want to get this guy quick so he doesn't eat our brain. And I think there might be a chest behind here if I'm remembering correctly. Something catches your eye amidst the trinkets and
Here
drops.
it is. We need to grab this. And this is part of our flagging for the raid. So you want to get this horrid golden figurine from behind here. Alright, so I'm going to recall and pause it while I get the quest again and make my way back here. This is the end reward for our normal run. Well, interesting. I mean, 20% miss chance. I'd love to get this on armor, along with the death block suffix, but it may only appear on shields. Wow, if only this had death block on it. Air guard and electric absorb. Insightful combat mastery. Alright, well I guess I'll just grab this shield. It's kind of interesting. And then retake the quest. Repeat the quest. And I'm going to pause it while I make my way back to the quest. And this is Slavers of the Shrieking Mines on hard difficulty.
You hear plaintive wails from deep within the mines. Could they really be the voices of the dead? These crystals emit a faint ringing sound as you draw near, as if reacting to the sound of your footsteps. ogre mage growls and commands his slaves to defend. Tanka's slaves spit on his corpse. The slaves chip away at the crystals while the ogres bark commands. The awful heat rising from the bottom of this shaft only adds to their misery. methods weaken the speech of aged mind. Beholder hisses as you approach it.
Split sword is a very rare collectible. Glad to get that.
Boss Uzaki's slaves whoop and screech as the slave driver falls dead.
ahead and rest. I can get my hireling to actually rest. There we go.
The ogre mage laughs as you approach him. Death is the only reward for betrayal. The slaves of the screw afoul. Curses upon the slave drivers. Something catches your eye amidst the trinkets and dross.
I'm going to pause it while I make it back to the quest giver. Let's see, nothing too interesting here. So I'll just grab something to sell to a vendor. Retake the quest again so I could get there on Elite. And that is Slavers of the Shrieking Mines on normal and hard.